And we have means of measure. We have.
How many places out of this earth?
Many, because we're,
not many.
We're
right.
At some point.
Right. So not many. And then what would you do then when we made this gravity?
So what?
So what? So when we say, for example, we see patterns of what? Design.
Yeah.
Design everywhere.
But gravity
and then,
is not the same.
Wait. Slow down. So when we see design everywhere.
So then you have a designer who's contradicting itself.
Excuse me. We're talking about design. When we observe everywhere, from trees that is mentioned, we see design. Everywhere I look, I see design. So what am I going to then deduce and induce from there?
Let me ask you this.
No, can you answer the question first?
If I take your DNA, compare it to that plant, how much similarity would we find? Do you know the answer to that question? It's a scientific question.
Yeah, how much?
Very high. How much is it?
You've got more than 90%.
So
what does that show you?
What's the point there?
Hang on, how much?
He's talking about a designer.
Wait.
Based on what
You've
is
asked
the
the
story
question.
of religion on
Excuse
design?
me.
What is this?
You've asked the question. What's the answer?
I'm imagining it's more than 90%.
No, I don't want your imagination.
He's comparing a tree.
You asked the question.
You're talking
What's the
about
answer?
design. Why would a designer take your
What's
DNA
wrong with you?
or the plant
What's wrong
DNA?
with you?
Don't
You asked, do you know how much similarity of DNA content is between man and
because
trees?
you're talking about design.
Excuse me. Did you not ask that question?
You are talking about design. This is a relevant question.
You asked a question. How much similarity is between plants and humans? Right. And I'm asking you, do you know yourself?
Of course I know myself.
How much is it?
I know you.
How much? How much?
I know as much as I want to. What do you mean?
So you asked a question.
This question is me.
You asked a question.
What is the point of yours?
Excuse me. You asked a question. Look,
you're talking about design.
Excuse me.
I'm telling you how.
Did you ask me a question?
No.
Do you know how much similarity between plant and animal DNA is, or human DNA?
95%.
Hang on. Did you ask me that?
Because you were talking about design.
Right. Yes. Did you ask me that?
Yeah, sure.
Good. And what's the answer?
What is the answer?
Well, you didn't want to ask the question.
The answer. Very
What's
simple.
the answer?
I don't know the exact figure.
So he can't help you there. What's the answer?
About 20 to 30% similarity.
So fine. So now his answer is yours is over 95%, and yours is 20-30%. Obviously, clearly now levels of your standards are going lower and lower. Never mind.
Why would you?
So fine. So 20-25% similarity proves what?
This brings into question, why would a designer that designed you first?
No. Firstly, you made a statement that according to scientific knowledge, there's 20-25% similarity between the DNA of humans and plants. Now, what does that prove?
Yeah, what does that?
My next question to you.
The proof is
what does that prove?
Which we came from one cell. All of life came from one cell.
Wait. So if we have 25% similarity between...
You cannot reject.
1 second. I want to see... MashaAllah, very good. You've got a PhD. That's why I'd like to learn from you. So you have 20-25% similarity between two living things. Humans and plants.
90% to chimps. What does that do?
Slow down.
I started with a tree because there's a...
Let's start with the tree.
It shows that we're functionally similar.
How does that...
It shows that we're functionally
similar.
That's what it shows. That's what it shows. We have the same cellular processes. We have the same biochemistry. What's the point of the
Right. So you made from this you made a statement. It is because we have what? What did you say? Repeat that again, so that everyone's on the same page. You deduced from that observation of 20-25% similarity between two species. That means we had what?
A shared origin.
Shared origin. Now, how do you conclude that?
Because we have evidence in the lab. Number one, we can create the same matter in a test tube without anything, without the need anything, without a cause. We can create it in a test tube.
Right.
Number one.
So, number one. Okay, can I write this down because it's important. Because
you can go
no. What you are saying, because I find it very strange that you're speaking very incoherently. 1 second.
Membranes, cells.
Hang on. on. Relax.
Evolution.
Relax. Are you in a hurry?
I'm not in a hurry.
So now,
Write everything,
20
it's all-
to 25%
Write everything, we'll check it.
Oh,
It's all
that's
wrong
good.
anyway.
similarity between human plus trees, for example, right? It shows we have common.
Life started from one cell. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Common source, you said, right?
Yes.
And I asked you, how do you know that? Your proof was in the
Actual
labs.
science.
I want to see whether you're coherent or not, because I can see incoherence already. So, your inference that you made from this observation, you're a scientist, real scientist, PhD holder. You have similarities between DNA contents of trees and humans. Human, there's a share about 20-25% shared DNA. That proves a common source. I said, how so? You said, in our labs, we can do things which shows that you don't need a cause. So we can make things without a cause. How? One moment. You said this is number one, and you're going to go to number two. Before I go to your number two reasons, how does your creating things in a lab without a cause somehow prove your statement that we have common source because of this?
When you look at the material that needed to be present for the creation of life,
No,
we
no.
have evidence of
Your statement that they have common source, you inferred it by your experiments in the lab in which you are making things without any cause. But I'm saying,
putting things that you are thinking about for a creation.
no, I'm not thinking anything. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
We put it together without a cause. They come together.
Right.
They create
So
life.
now tell me, that thing you've made, okay, give me something that we made in the lab without a cause.
I'm telling you, we've created.
Give me an example.
Nucleic acids.
Nucleic.
Origin of life, the language
Hang
of life.
on. So you've made nucleic acid, right?
Yes.
Okay. Deoxyribose or RNA?
Oh, DNA.
DNA, okay, DNA. So we made DNA in our labs, proves that there is a common
Not
source.
just DNA. When you put everything together.
Excuse me, I'm just taking one
create the
example.
hot soup
Slow down.
of the primordial
Slow down.
planet.
Slow
No, don't tell me to slow down. I get to talk too.
I need to
They
understand
come
what you're
together.
saying.
Oh,
I'm not as clever as you are.
That's what you're
right?
doing. No,
I'm not as clever as you are. I don't have a PhD.
Sure.
So,
that's
because you have a
obvious that you
PhD,
don't.
you have to. It's obvious, of course. Yeah, it's obvious.
Because you're just trying to be loud.
Hang on.
To reject.
It's
whatever
obvious.
idea
It's
comes
obvious.
at you.
It's obvious that
You're
obviously you're already.
You're scared for a creator not to be. I'm not.
My friend,
I am not scared of that. So go ahead.
look at the incoherence. If you haven't spotted it already, 20-25% similarity of DNA content between human and plants or trees, right? That shows we have a common source of origin. Now, how do you arrive to that? Your evidence for this is in the lab. Look at the links he's making, right?
Because
Wait,
that's where science is generated.
Slow, let me
It's not
finish.
in a mosque.
Look at the links you're making. In the labs, we see things are made like DNA without a cause. How does making things without a cause?
Come from one cell.
One second. We don't need to Google. We have periodic papers. How do you make a link between making DNA in a lab proves that it's a common source?
What are you asking again?
You made a link, and evidence to support common source is making things in the lab like DNA without a cause. How does that support that we have a common source between trees and plants?
You're not understanding the process that we have evidence from each step showing that we came from one cell.
There's
We
no
were not
evidence. It's a
created
theory.
as it is.
There's no proof.
We
It's a
went through
theory.
millions of years to get here.
That's not what
So
you said.
got-
You
even
said
if
it's a
that
common
is-
source. Remember what the claim you made?
It's the same life.
No, you said,
Came from
you know,
one cell.
what does common source
Life
mean?
Came from. You're putting that word and saying common source.
You said common
One
source, right?
life comes from one cell. That's what
Like,
you're saying.
like common
All
source?
life came from one cell.
And what's the justification for that statement?
The justification is that we have
What evidence
for it. We
Okay.
have chronological.
So what evidence do we have?
DNA evidence. We have
Do you want to start with each one? What evidence do you have that life came from one source?
thousands and thousands of papers that came from scientific labs. So you can reject all that and stick to one.
You
book.
are really
You're
very
free to do
difficult.
that.
No, you're a very difficult person. I mean,
Oh, you're a very difficult person. You
I'm
just
asking
start
you.
attacking.
I'm asking you.
I'm
I am
explaining to you that
saying
there's
you're making it
evidence for
difficult
what I'm
for me
saying.
as a
But of course
layperson
you're not
to
gonna look
understand
at
that.
it. Well, I mean,
Because
that
I
was
asked you
not
for
your
evidence.
attitude there.
Look,
You're
look.
using the person that is not.
No, I asked him. I asked him.
Around
No,
to show you.
But you haven't shown me anything. You say,
Of course, you're going to...
Look,
That's
look,
what you guys do.
do you know what you do?
You're
Do you know?
afraid of questions.
Do you know?
I'm not afraid of
Do you know what you're doing
it's
yourself?
Okay to believe in a
Do you know?
God,
No.
it's okay
Do you know
not
what you're doing? When I question you for evidence, and do you know how you present your evidence?
I present to you step by step. And you say,
What have you given me so far?
You're inferring this,
No.
this and that.
No, no.
And then
These
you're
are
being
claims.
loud,
These are
and then you
claims.
attack.
You
That's your
these
way.
are your claims.
That's your way.
Excuse me. These are your
This is
claims.
my claim. This is
No.
97% of all
You make
scientists in the world.
look. You make claims, right? So does many others.
Just make claims.
You-
I observe and
No, no.
test it and then run it in the lab. That's what
Hang on. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Can you get something from nothing?
depends on what context you're talking about. Give it enough stuff, yeah. If the right
What is nothing?
environment, the
What is
environment- Well, it depends what nothing means to you.
Oh, so you don't know what nothing is?
Are you talking about lack of life? What is?
You don't know what nothing is?
I know what nothing is, but I have my
Right.
definition.
So.
But your nothing.
How
is
many
different
definitions does
than
nothing have?
mine. Oh, there could be many.
Okay, let me give you a definition and see whether you understand my definition. Absence of everything.
But what is everything?
You. Everything that you can perceive.
Just life.
No, that's not life. Is that alive?
That's matter.
Okay. So is that a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Right. Absence of anything. Absence of everything. Right. Can you get something from nothing?
You could. Yeah.
Okay. Does nothing have any existence in my definition? No. Nothing doesn't exist. Does it have any energy? No, it doesn't have any energy. Does it have any quanta? Does it have any fluctuation? Does it have any gravity? Does it have any nothing?
You're defining black matter.
No, I'm not defining black matter.
Nothing.
Excuse me.
but at the
So
same
now I
time,
know that
there's
you have a fake PhD.
See,
Black
see?
matter
You
is
just
not
want
nothing.
to-
Black
I'm
matter is
done-
not nothing.
I'm done talking
Okay,
to you. Good
come
luck.
on, don't be
Good luck.
patronizing like that.
Good luck.
Good luck. Go ahead. Fake
Don't
PhDs.
attack people.
You just did.
Doesn't mean attacking. That
Listen, hang
doesn't
on.
mean
Hang on.
attacking.
Sorry. Don't be patronizing.